All right, hello and welcome to Kenny Bear's Arms, everybody. So this is a really kind of ironic and weird video because, first of all, it's my first ever reaction video that I've ever recorded. Second of all, it's my first ever time ever hearing about Awaken with JP. Recently, YouTube was like, hey, you should check out this video here. And it was titled, Why Guns Must Be Banned Now. And I thought to myself, oh, hell no. I don't want to watch this video. This ain't for me. But I probably should, I should probably take in everybody's sides of the debate if I want to be honest and have a real conversation about, gun control and whatnot. So if I want to be real about it, I should probably see what other people say about it. So I decided, what the hell, I'll click on it, I'll watch it. Unbeknownst to me, it was very funny, very informative, and so I'm going to share it with you now. I know a lot of other people have done it. I know he's got a ton of views on it already. Maybe you've already seen it. If you haven't, you should definitely check out him and his channel. Super funny stuff, super informative stuff. It's kind of like Russell Brand, but like a different angle than Russell Brand, but the same level of awesome humor. Again, I've already watched this before, but I just wanted to share it with you guys in case you already haven't, because this is, I think, is a very, very good video. It demonstrates kind of what's going on in the gun community and the world in general around guns and what the politics around it in a very lighthearted, funny manner. So let's take a look at it together.
So what do you think about what's going on? Well, in response to the mass shooting, just as the media is directing me to, I'd like to jump to the conclusion that we should ban all guns before I have a chance to think about how that only affects law-abiding citizens while doing nothing to address the underlying cause of mental illness and evil behind mass shootings. Yeah, I think we should ban guns too. Yes, it would make a lot of sense to have people with guns take our guns. But sometimes I think, whoa, wait a minute there, extremists. Just hear me out. Sometimes I think if they want to outlaw guns in order to prevent murder, why don't they just outlaw murder? They already have. And the criminals still break the law? They do. Then are we sure the criminals that break the law would be willing to just obey a new law about guns? I think we're supposed to just think so. I mean, I can only assume that someone who's willing to murder another person would probably have a moral compass that says, hey, killing a person is great and all, but possessing an object I'm not supposed to, that's just crossing a line. Not going to do it. Makes sense when we look at it through the lens of that very limited, unlikely perspective. Right. Sure does. Instead of waiting for the leftists who politicize the tragic loss of life to convince the media, to convince the masses, to convince the government to confiscate our guns, maybe we should just voluntarily turn in our guns. Yes, and maybe we should turn in all our food and private property rights too, just to be safe. I'm pretty sure that's already in process. Yikes. You know, one alternative theory to what the media is telling us. Whoa, hold it right there, extremist. Good.
Right? That's pretty good right there, right? That's pretty good. Hold it right there, extremists. Yeah, if you have a differing opinion, you're obviously wrong and on the other side of everything automatically. Like, there's no, the other side is like, no, there's no talk or debate about this. It's just like, it's this way or nothing. I like that. And yeah, what is stopping them from taking my property and stuff? I think Bill Gates is already doing a bunch of that stuff.
Point. But just stay with me for a second on this one. One theory is that power-hungry authoritarians use PSYOP programs like MK Ultra to program mentally unstable people to do mass shootings so the authoritarians can then politicize them and justify to the public why guns are being taken. And then they have total tyrannical control over citizens who cannot defend themselves against them. Okay, Mr. Tin.
Especially recently, it's kind of sus. It's like, the primary, or what do they call the I don't know, the election thing is coming up soon, and it's just like, it's kind of weird timing. I don't want to say that. I hate saying it. I don't want to think it. It's terrifying.
Foil hat. Now, PSYOPs and MK Ultra might be proven programs that the government has used, but they're just conspiracy theories. You think so? Yeah, I think calling those realities conspiracy theories, as they're subjects that I do not understand, is a viable way of engaging in intellectual discourse about them so that I don't have to do any research beyond the current level of knowledge that I already have. I'd also like to discount those realities as conspiracy theories because it's just easier than starting the journey of learning about what I don't currently know about. And by being unwilling,
I've actually had many conversations. I'm very new to firearms and everything as far as ownership. However, I've been very interested in learning about them throughout my years of life on this earth. And I've had conversations with people that have zero experience with them. And boy, howdy, is it really enlightening and interesting to have a conversation with someone that's never even handled a firearm or know nothing about them, and kind of like, oh wait, you actually have to like pass a background check to buy a firearm? Like stuff like that it's mind-boggling.
Willing to learn about anything new, that's how we grow more certain of ourselves. Hey, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? Calculus. I don't know anything about it and I feel completely unwilling to learn. What about you? The clitoris is my favorite conspiracy theory. I've never found one, and I have no ambition to learn where they actually exist at. Well, in addition to claiming they don't exist, I speculate that one day they'll find them on pregnant men somewhere. But do you know what doesn't sit well with me? I don't know, like the stone cold hard reality of XY chromosomes and XX chromosomes? Yeah. Also a conspiracy theory, so no. But it's just that if authoritarians with guns keep telling us that guns are so bad, why do they need guns? I mean, probably just so they can use them. True. But have you ever heard of history? I don't read books. I just burn them. Thank you for your censorship. But I
absolutely love that. That one killed me. I thank you for your censorship. Oh my God.
I accidentally learned about history once, and when I did, I learned that only tyrannical regimes disarm their populations. And when they do, those governments inflict terrible control, violence, and killing onto their now disarmed populations. For example, in 1911, Turkey established gun control. And then from 1915 to 1917, 1.5 million Armenians, now unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and exterminated. And in 1929, the Soviet
This is when stuff gets a little too real.
The Union established gun control. Then from 1929 to 1953, 20 million people, unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and exterminated. What do you mean, exterminated? Murdered. Oh, well, those are just two examples. And China established gun control in 1935. Then from 1948 to 1952, 20 million political dissidents, unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and killed. Oh, and the people in China still exist under a brutal regime today. Oh, wait a minute.
They do. It's pretty bad.
Germany also established gun control in 1938. And then from 1939 to 1945, 13 million Jews and others who were unable to defend themselves were rounded up and exterminated. Huh. I wonder if Hitler purposely disarmed the population so he could tyrannically take over and kill all people opposed to him. It's probably just a coincidence. But also Cambodia established gun control in 1956. Then from 1975 to 1977, 1 million educated people were rounded up and killed because they were unable to defend themselves. Is my shirt on straight? Yep, good. And Guatemala established gun control in 1964. Then from 1964 to 1981, 100,000 Mayan Indians, unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and exterminated. Oh, and it's probably not significant, but Uganda established gun control in 1970. Then from 1971 to 1979, 300,000 Christians, unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and exterminated. 56 million people rounded up and exterminated in the 20th century because of gun control? Yeah, apparently. But that could never happen here. Yeah, that's what all those people throughout history said. But it couldn't ever really happen here. They said that too. But seriously, that couldn't ever really happen here. Oh, well, when you put it like that, I'm convinced. Yeah, and besides, the authoritarians that want to ban guns in our country are saying it's for our protection. I can only assume that in all those authoritarian regimes that you mentioned that did all the killing, that they had a different, honest message for their populations about why they were being disarmed. You think? Yeah, it was probably something like, hey, we're gonna take all your guns so that we can control every aspect of your life and easily kill those of you who don't comply. No, it says here all those regimes also had a we're banning guns for your protection type of messaging too. Don't be a conspirament theorist. Another good point. Then that means this history book must be inaccurate because it reveals a pattern that's currently unfolding in this country that's uncomfortable to think about. Exactly. That's totally false. We should 100% turn in all our guns. Like, ban them all. Yeah, I feel the coercion to agree with you. But
I love that line. I feel the coercion to agree with you. It's like, because, well, I don't have a choice, right? Probably.
do you think an even better idea could be that if the authoritarians with guns turn in their guns first, and then we, the people, turn in our guns? No, it just feels easier to trust the people that we know lie to us on a consistent basis.
Right.
Just imagine how much better off we'll be without the only constitutional right that allows us to protect ourselves. Yeah, and if history has taught us anything, which it hasn't, it's that banning guns will work out much differently this time. Yep. Can't wait. Hey, if you're not a...
Okay, so seriously, that video is well written, beautifully executed, funny, informative, factual, and terrifying. You guys, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. Like, if you're watching this channel, I probably know what you think about it. Shall not be infringed, right? Absolutely. I wish it wasn't infringed. But, alas, here we are, still fighting to maintain our Second Amendment rights. God, that's terrifying. That's sad. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I probably won't be doing a whole lot of stuff on this channel like that. But I just think that stuff like this is very important. And we need to do our fellow brothers, sisters, the benefit of education and instilling like what the Second Amendment really means to each other. And I think we'll be better off if we do such a thing. Like, it's very important to have this amendment. It's very important. And you, like he pointed out, like you see throughout history, the countries that don't have it, how poorly their like living standards and their like just the lack of freedom. And you look at Ukraine right now, literally fighting for their freedom from Russia, and the government saying, "Hey, we need to bring back this Second Amendment." Basically, not necessarily the same thing as we have here, but arming their citizens to fight back against a tyrannical government, much like our founding fathers did against the British, to build this country to what it is now, which I hope it gets somewhere back to where it is, because right now it's in an ugly state. Thank you so much, President Brandon, for what you've done to this country in such a short amount of time. Yikes. You guys, like, comment, consider subscribing, share this with your friends. Check out Awaken with JP. Awesome content on that channel. Funny, informative. I'm a huge Russell Brand fan too. Two different sides of the aisle here, but they obviously cross over and see things much similarly, more often than not. It's unreal. Like, we all just want a little taste of freedom and not to be so oppressed and shut down by our own people. Take it easy, guys. Be well. I'll see you in the next one.